okay, a Taiwan's manufacturing company for the cell phones. Actually, that manufacturing is a Taiwan cell phone company. And well, for some reason, they are a sales bank of the handset in Germany. Okay. So that's possible. Okay. The model. Okay. That's one. And also the governments, between the governments, always have some arguments. Okay. And then this is case the Mexico's the anti-dumping investigations into the steel wire rope from China. Okay. And currently, these years since last years we hear a lot of the anti-dumping investigations between United States and China as well. Okay. So just one overnight, the policy will change. Okay. But if you are companies, a lot of Taiwan business are moved to the China in order to close to the market. Okay, not only for that, but also want to have receive the cheaper labor and cheaper lanes there. But we don't know why suddenly not only the China's policy changed, but also the China and the United States, the trading policy changed. So they are facing on how to avoid this kind of the risk. So some of them they are moving to the Vietnam. Some of the companies maybe are forced to move to directly to the United States as well. Some of them will come back to Taiwan. So that's a lot of challenge. And you try to position yourself as a global company. So let me. This is the outline there. We'll start up here. Now we will show the type of the international supply chain and also the different forces comparing the companies to develop the international supply chain. Okay. And when you are having the global supply chain, they always have an advantage and a disadvantage as well. Okay. The disadvantage, well, we will mention that later. Okay. And the most challenge is this one. Okay. The unknown risk to unknown risk, or to known unknown risk. Okay. So, especially for scientists, we are trying to solve a problem. Well, that's an interesting issue. The people say, what's the difference between engineer and the scientist? Okay. What's the difference between the engineer and the scientist? Oh, because I'm in the engineer school, so I'm an engineer. Are you sure about that? I don't know. What's the difference between the engineer and the scientist? Well, that's a definition from someone. They say, when you are solving a known problem, you are engineer. Okay? You know the problem already, and you want to have a solution for that. So this is an engineer. Okay? You want to solve an unknown problem, you are a scientist. Okay? Scientists should be the one trying to solve an unknown problem. For unknown problems, you will facing the unknown risk there, right? So the failure rate will be much higher. Okay, the engineer, we will say, because it's a known problem, so we are trying to provide a better solution than the existing one. So the success rate will be much higher. Like 50%, 30%, maybe. Okay, you want to, okay, this is the problem, I want to solve it. And so I try to, get all my knowledge, all my resources to provide a solution for that. Okay? And at the end, it turns out that I failed. I did not have a solution better than the existing ones. Okay? Or maybe just improve a little bit. So it's not worth to develop that one. So that's the engineer. And sometimes, oh yes, you have a good solutions with much cheaper than the original one. Okay, and better performance than the one. So it means you success. You provide a solution for the known problem. Okay, and that's it, the end. Okay, and the business come in, right? Say, oh, okay. They have a gap between the current solution and the existing solution. I know how to make it profitable. Okay, so the business person will come in to see the true value of the solution. Okay, so that's why we are in the business school. Right? But for the scientists, there is definitely not the situation. Okay, they are solving the unknown problem. They don't even know what's the problem. Okay, they just see the situation, but they don't know what exactly who caused this situation happen. Okay, they see the troubles there, but they don't know what's the issues there. Okay, what's anything behind this phenomena. Okay, so they had to figure out. So that's why the successful rate is very, very low. Okay, or maybe they are trying to create something quite new. Okay? For example, the lights. Okay, nobody know before we have lights, we don't have a fire. Okay, lamp. But they now do have lights, electricity there. But nobody know how to make it. From the lamp, from the fire to the lights. Nobody know that. Okay, so they created one. So that's quite different. Okay. So it's really the same thing when you are going to from a local company. It seems like you know most of the problems around you, so you know how to service them. When you want to go to the other company, overseas company, you've never been there. Okay, even you don't know their language. Okay, you don't know. Just as remember last week, I asked you what's the lucky numbers in your country. Okay, maybe most of the countries have different ones, right? So you cannot just use the same concept applied to the other country. Maybe, well, in Taiwan, 6 is a good number, right? So you go there and you say, okay, I want to mark my goods price is at 666. No one comes to buy your product. Okay, not because it's bad, because the number is bad, not because the product is bad, right? So this kind of issues, if there's no local information for you, then you don't know how to deal with that. So that's the risk for the global. So what you want to know is you want to reverse the unknown unknowns to moving the unknown unknown to the known unknowns, and then you have some stretch with that one. So you will see, actually nowadays, this is from United States point of view, okay? About 1/5 of the output of the United States firms is produced in overseas. So that's why their president, Trump, want to reverse the situation. Okay? He says, well, we want to have we call it the MIT, made in Taiwan, right? They want to have everything made in the United States. Okay? Because the laborers means jobs. Okay, the manufacturing means you need a lot of laborers. The laborers means jobs. Jobs means the family can have a constant, stable income, so they can support their family. So then they will have a more solid economic background. But however, it's 1/5 of output of the United States firms. And 1/4 of the United States imports are between the foreign affiliate and the U.S. patent company. So that's the number. They are really increasing. So one question in mind: why they don't want to manufacture in their own company? Why they want to manufacture overseas? Okay. So it must have some advantage for those companies to do this kind of action. Okay. Nobody will do something for nothing. Right? So international distribution systems manufacturers are domestically, but distribution and particularly some market place overseas. Okay. This kind of definition is for the international distribution system. Okay. So when you are manufacturing in your domestically, but you distribute your goods to the overseas, we call this kind of company have an international distribution system, only distributes. So at the beginning, Japan, for example, their automobiles manufacturing in Japan, and then distributes to overseas. Okay. Until some days, United States said, "Oh, no way, you cannot just import, export your car to our lands, okay, because it means that our people only become a consumer for those products. I want you to have firms inside the United States such that the job for the manufacturing will be happening in our areas, okay, and you will go locally purchase the parts. So not only I want you to manufacture the automobile in here, means that not only for the positions for the workers, but also for the supply chain, the whole automobile supply chain has to be locally. Okay. Especially they have also a very strong automobile company there. Okay. And so the way they do is they raise the tax, the tariff of the tax, such that the import vehicles will have a very high tax. Okay. But in Taiwan it doesn't work because most of our vehicles are import. Right? So there's no way to have a very high tariff for tax for the automobile. Okay, so it depends. And when we're talking about international suppliers, means that the raw materials and components are furnished by the foreign suppliers, and we buy it. Okay, and finally, assembly is performed domestically. Okay, so we buy the materials, all the parts they are being there, and we are in here assembly. So the automobiles in Taiwan, some of the automobiles company, we are not a manufacturing company, we are assembly company. Okay, for automobile. So that means that we have an international supply chain for our domestic. So in Taiwan nowadays, you have two kinds of automobiles to buy. One is purely import. Right? One is assembly in Taiwan. But for assembly in Taiwan, we have the international suppliers. Okay? We import the engine, we import the parts, and come to Taiwan. Taiwan only prepare for the seats, okay, for the handles, or maybe some small parts of the lights. But for the computer control system, maybe still import. Okay, there. So that's the definition for that one. And overshore manufacturing is another type. Okay, yeah. Products typically sourced and manufactured in a single foreign location and shipped back to domestic warehouse and to sell. So it means that most of the product, the product 100% actually is manufactured overseas. We just import here and sell in our local. But company is our company. Okay. So it's our company. We design the products, and we ship in the blueprints to the company overseas. They are doing the manufacturing. They are locally purchase all the parts, all the components, and the laborers as well, and the manager and quality control exams. And after that one, they will come back here, and we just sell locally. In the United States, they have many offshore manufacturing doing that kind of thing. And another one is fully integrated global supply chain. Okay, and it means the products are supplied, manufactured and distributed from different facility locations through the world, everywhere. Okay. Maybe the parts from here, there. So you can think about the, what would be a good example? The iPhone probably is kind of the situation. Okay, before iPhone, actually it happened already. Before iPhone, we have a what's the name? My God, I forgot. 随身听 who knows? MP3, Walkman. Yeah, Walkman. Yeah, actually Walkman. It's such a long time ago. Walkman. Nowadays, you always carry a phone, right? The cell phone with you, and you put up your earset and play the phone there. It's not a fashion, okay? 30, 40 years ago, it already happened. Yeah. 40 years ago, 50 years ago, you will see they are doing the same thing, except their phone, their handset is a little bit bigger. Okay, it's carried here. Okay, and they have a earset as well, just as a one, right? So you can see a lot of people have a headset as well, and they push it open. Okay, there we are. Put it in. Great. So it's the same thing. It's a little bit smaller, okay, and with the wire instead of the wireless. Okay. So actually, there's no generation gap. Let me show over there. It's the same. Okay. But when you are buying this kind of products, especially for the Walkman, we will see where it manufactured. Okay. They will come from different manufacturing areas. Japan manufactures all the Vietnam manufacturers, all the Singapore manufacturers. And the price, well, the price is the same, but actually the real price is different. Okay, some products you can follow, some products you cannot. Clothes is especially the same. Okay, when you are buying the clothes is okay, the same style, but you look at the manufacturing areas different. The price is different, and a huge difference. I see the products in French made in French, and made in Taiwan, and made in the price is quite really gap. Okay, it's at least 3 times. Okay, of a t-shirt. So, well, it's fully integrated, and that's the situation there. Okay, through the world. So that's 4 types of we call it global supply chain issue. Okay, so let's go back to the first one. The first one is quite simple, right? The manufacturer is local, and you send the products overseas. The second one is that the products, components from outside to here, to domestic, and you sell the domestic there, and just assembly, and maybe some of the products will shipping out. Okay, so the components in Taiwan, for example, and you assembly the one, and you sell locally, and some of the products you can still sell back to the other country, maybe not the original one, but to the other country. And the third one is the their product is manufacturing in the outside, okay, and come, that's right, in the outside and come back, okay, to our warehouse and sales and distribute here. There's a whole product, that means the whole products in here. And the fourth one, the last one is the integrate global supply chain, okay. All the world, in this situation, there's no so-called domestic or foreign. Okay, the whole world could be shipping, the raw materials, assembly, and the sales distribution center mixed together. Okay, so it's no domestic. The concept is no domestic area. So we see the this kind of situation happens. Okay, we are why? So they must have put some force to push the localization. The first one is the market. In the United States, they eat burgers. In Japan, they eat burgers. In Taiwan, we eat burgers. Right? Everybody, the taste is homogeneous. Okay, not heterogeneous. Everybody have the same taste currently. Okay. The clothes we are wearing almost the same. Okay, the t-shirts. Okay, we are not. Now we are our traditional. I mean, even it's a traditional, just a traditional design. Not really the materials is quite different as well. Okay, everybody wears shoes, right? Same thing, sports shoes. Okay, jeans, the same thing. So the market you can reach is much wider than before. Okay, the customers, the base is huge there. So that means that, okay, your products can be sold to the overseas. They still have market there, so it's a global market, of course. And technology, of course. The technology you are using to manufacture your products in domestic can be found the similar or even better technology in overseas. Okay, their firms can manufacture, can produce the same product with the skills. Okay, and so that's the technology. For example, you can print out papers in here. You can print out the same quality of papers in the different countries. So the printers standardized technology, okay, can be found everywhere. Okay. All you do is to assembly goods, okay, and you can find out that's very cheap. And now, it's not a secret. We are talking about how to align with the Germany about their battery industry. Okay. They want to develop the electricity vehicles, and the electric vehicles have a very key component is the battery. They have a very good skills design and the fundamental studies about how to improve the electricity batteries. However, they don't have the technology to produce, to manufacture the battery. Right? So they come to Taiwan. That's the project we are going now. Right? They come to Taiwan to see if Taiwan can be the manufacturing center for them, just as the computer industry, right? Taiwan produce a lot of computers, okay, for Dell, for IBM, for different brands. Okay. And we produce a lot of the phone set for the company. Okay. We have a case, the code, everything there. Okay, except the chip, the hub is from Intel, from the other company, but the whole set is from Taiwan. Right? Then we label it as an iPhone, different phones there. Right? So the same thing, they are thinking that Taiwan is a very good manufacturing country. So they say, okay, how about we work together? See that? The challenge for that, for all the industry, the challenge is not how to produce the one, it's how to produce with the low cost. and how to make sure the production have a very stable quality, and how to examine. It's very difficult, how to examine the quality of the product. So if you have a chance, I mean, when you go to, if you want to be a designer, that's another issue, okay? But if you are like a manager, a business person, for your startup, I would encourage you to go to the exam departments to see how to set up, how to design a good exam process for the product. How do we know we reach the goal? How do we know we reach the standard? Okay. So the requirement for a standard is very high for different products. So we are calling the Six Sigma. It's not good enough. Okay. Six Sigma is maybe for some easy products. Okay, for life goals. You can say, okay, Six Sigmas, right? In like a 1 billion, so you can have a 2 to 3 lamps. But for the batteries, no way to do that. Okay, it has to be much higher standard than the one. Okay. So the technology force will be force people to go up. Okay. And also the global costs, the different labor costs, the different cost of lands, okay, different cost of infrastructure, okay, the electricity, the gasoline, okay, then you will try to have a low cost for that one. And also the political issues and the economic issues will have the one, because in, for example, Taiwan, we always depends on the market in the United States and Europe, because we produce goods there. So still remember some movies will make a laugh at our umbrella and say, okay, the umbrella is broken, it must be made in Taiwan. Okay, the toy must be made in Taiwan. Okay, because we are famous for that kind of low-end products for a long time. Okay, the toys, umbrellas, and come to the bicycles, and now we upgrade ourselves from those kind of low-end products to computer. So people say, oh, the computer is from Taiwan, the phone set from Taiwan. Okay. So that's the thing. But now, what we try to do is we want to not only receive the technology doing the manufacture, we want to change ourselves, upgrade ourselves we want to export our technology, okay, to different countries. Okay. And then we need some people to manufacture the product for us. So the first areas we are working is China. Let's have China open their gates. And the same language, same culture background. So we will move there, and their cost was very low, cheap there. So we moved there. But nowadays we realize that we cannot rely on China only, even they have a very big market and low cost. So we are moving to the southeast area countries. So once the parts is when shipped, okay, the government will say, okay, I'll give you some incentive to encourage you shift your directions to there. So that's one way people say, oh, okay, I want to go with the wind, okay, to make the sales smoothly to the destination. Okay. So they will change that one. And also the economic force will change as well. So that's the way to do it. So there must be some reasons and the situation. So this is the detail for that. I will not go much with the one. I will say. That's the market situation. And the market is also means that maybe you can have a cheaper raw materials as well. Okay. And this is technology force. Okay. There were the technology force. One of the one I emphasize is that, for example, some countries, they have a very good large workers, technical workers, but they don't have enough economics grow up. Okay, so that will be a good chance if you are working. I mean, your product is related to me. For example, Russia is very good. Okay, they have a very strong basic science training education system there. Okay, and so until now, the economics is not good enough. Okay, they have a very rich person, but only maybe 0.1%. Okay, but most of the people they don't have not lucky to have opportunity, but they do have a very much skills because the population is so big. It's easier for you to find some skilled and smart people. The India, the same thing. Okay, so this, despite their the political issue, there's political systems, they still have a very good skilled workers there. Okay. The Czech Republic is actually is one of the countries that most Taiwanese business people move in the Europe area. They have a very good skills. That one. So that's another issues for them to move around. Yeah, and also the facility is close to the region network. And some of the one is that we want to close to the partners we cooperate with. Okay, so that could be another reason to doing the one. So the global location for the research and development facilities, that's another reason. Okay. And however, the issue is because the product cycles become very short, okay, shrinking, and so locate research facility close to the manufacturing facility is very important. So for example, you want to do the fashion process, okay, maybe Paris is the center of the fashion, so you have to get the information as soon as possible. Even before they announce in the newspaper, you have to sense about the changing of the fashion. So you need to have a location, companies, manufacturing company close to the one. Okay? Because the fashion is not only the design, but also the materials they are using. This kind of issues there. Okay, so that's the one reason. Okay. And some